Good afternoon, Professor Jordan. My name is Abby Chase, and this is my service learning project. This semester, we got the opportunity to serve at an organization called Mercy Street, which is a Christ-centered organization that ministers to the people of Dallas through sports and mentoring youth. What started as a mentorship program in 2003 has since grown to include a sports and a leadership program that serves about 2,400 kids a year and has a volunteer base of over 900 volunteers. This semester, we talked about different principles and some that I saw real-world applications of through Mercy Street were organizational culture, Hawthorne effect, and motivation. So talking about organizational culture, which is the shared set of beliefs, expectations, values, and norms that influence how members of an organization relate to one another and cooperate to achieve the organization's goals. Seeing at Mercy Street, they have a Christ-centered culture where you can see servant leadership, and it's just super caring and inclusive. Seeing how they demonstrate Christ's love through even small things, where one time I was serving, there was a little boy who had some sort of special needs, and where in today's world he could so have been just left behind and just disregarded, figure it out. But seeing how at Mercy Street, the coach chose to serve and be a leader in that, and ran around alongside him and held his hand and was like, here, like, kick the goal here, and like block this goal. And so it was so sweet just to see that picture of servant leadership and in an environment that you know that they got to walk alongside that family to give that little boy the best experience they could in an environment that little boy was safe and cared for and so loved like Christ loves us. And so another principle I got to see was the Hawthorne effect. Working with a lot of different people this semester at Mercy Street, if they hadn't responded the way they did, I probably would not have had the experience that I had. So one time I got to work the concession stand with a lady, and she walked alongside me, teaching me how to use the machine, where the drinks were, how to do this when the customer asks for this, that the refs get special privileges. And so such cool things. But she very easily could have just walked away and said, like, figure it out, or been like, why do you not know this? But she didn't. She chose to walk alongside me and just teach me in that. And so cool that they have that sort of environment, and how the manager's attitude of she wanted to be there, she wanted to serve. Her kids had gone through Mercy Street, and so this was her way of giving back. It was just so cool, and she wanted to be there, so I wanted to be there, and it was so fun. And then also how there was another time when one of the ladies who worked for Mercy Street asked if we could coach a game because the coach wasn't going to be there. And were we the most qualified group of people to coach this game? No. One of my friends had played high school soccer, but the rest of us had no idea what we were doing. And so, but this lady believed in us. She gave us the gloves for the goalie, told us about the team, told us about their opponent, set us up for success, and just believed that we could. And so just seeing that of, it was an environment where they cared and they believed, and then how that affected our performance of, okay, this lady who actually doesn't know what she's talking about, but she can't coach the game, she believed that we could do it. Okay, we got this. Even though soccer was none of our strong suits. And another thing I'd see was motivation, which is the psychological forces that determine the directions of a person's behavior in an organization, a person's level of effort, and a person's level of persistence. And 3 types of motivation we talked about this semester were intrinsic, prosocial, and extrinsic. And just seeing that chances are everyone there was probably intrinsically or prosocially motivated. There was a group of staff that came to talk to us at the beginning of class, beginning of the year, and how they were saying that a lot of them had super personal stories directly related to Mercy Street, whether they grew up in similar situations to these kids and they wish they had a Mercy Street to be there for them, or they went to Mercy Street as a kid, or maybe their kids were going through it now. Each of them had like a story that connected them to Mercy Street. And they all wanted to give back in a way, and then just show Christ's love through serving these kids, which you're not going to go coach a kid's soccer team for intrinsic motivations. And so just such a cool picture. And again, also the servant leadership piece of just watching them serve was so cool. And then the impact personally, I grew up playing sports in a similar capacity through my church as a kid, and then being able to serve those kids as I got older. And just, it was so cool. I haven't done that in a while, and so being able to come back and serve in a similar way was such a joy. And then also Jesus calls us to serve. In Mark 10:45, it says, "For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." And how that when we get to serve, we just get to show Jesus' love to others. We're just living out like our Christian faith. And the career impact, I recently switched my major from business management to elementary education, and so working at Mercy Street directly applies to my future career, as I will be directly working with children all the time. And so that's my service learning project. Thank you for this class. I really enjoyed it. Have a great Thanksgiving break.